Make a land with the counters here. Good game. I think so. We can double the counters, double them again, and attack for billions of damage. Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me at CGB. Today in the arena, we are going to look at the champion deck Bristly Bill. It's a brawl deck that is in the store right now that you can purchase for the low price of 21,674 gems, or possibly reduced. And we're going to get to this. We're going to fully cover this deck and talk about some small upgrades you can make. And we're going to play it fresh out of the box also with a few games to see whether or not it's good. Let's head over to the actual deck building screen. So thing number one, if you buy the deck directly from the store, you might waste money. Might. I'm not positive about that. So what you should do is use the deck list that I'm going to put in the description, the link to the deck, and upload the deck. Because when I did this, when I found the deck list and uploaded it directly into my client using the upload import feature here, which, you know, you copy a deck list out from an internet source, you import here, then I found I actually didn't have to craft any of these cards, and that the gems they were charging me were just for different versions of cards I already owned. So in a way, it doesn't check for all of that across all of the different printings of different cards. So you might end up, if you buy from the store, there's a chance you will waste some gems on cards you already own. The best way to check against this is to go to the site, go to the link in the description, and then click export, copy the deck list, and then hit import here and see what it opens up and how many cards are missing. Then you can decide whether or not you want to craft those cards using your wild cards or go spend the money in the store to get the deck. For me, I already had the cards, I just had different printings than what were in the store. So it did save me a few gems to go ahead and upload the deck list from a different source instead of buying in the store. That's a very important point about these brawl decks. Bristly Bill Spine Sower is a plant druid 2/2 with landfall. If you like aggressive landfall in just one color mono green, then this is a perfect deck to get you into the brawl format. Whenever a land enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, 3 green, double the number of counters on each creature you control. Right out of the box, this is a very simple, straightforward landfall deck. We're going to put a bunch of +1/+1 counters on our creatures, and we're going to make more of those counters using multiplier effects, such as Where to Go Hardened Scales is in this deck, as well as Branching Evolution, which increases the number of counters, all the way up to cards like Doubling Season, which doubles counters, and Vorinclex, Monstrous Raider, is in this deck. In fact, this deck does feature some really sweet mythics. The Commander is mythic. The Great Henge is a mythic. And then you have some more baffling ones that I'll get to later to talk about, like Galta, Stampede Tyrant. Yes, it's a big dinosaur. It is a mythic. Is it right for this deck? I mean, that's some of the questions we're going to answer in this particular video. But before we do anything to this deck and improve it, we are going to take this out and play it on ladder and see if it functions exactly as it is. And that's going to be fun. Can I go out and win a few games of brawl playing this deck? Obviously, you would hope, if you are going to buy a deck directly from the store, that you don't just get steamrolled. But I would say that the first brawl decks that they released, such as Adelies, the Cinder Wind in particular, did in fact get steamrolled. So we're going to see whether or not we're in hell queue, what kind of matchups we get, and if this deck can hold its own on the brawl ladder, thus making it worth your hard-earned dollars/gems to go out and purchase. So we would like to thank the sponsors of all of our videos. That's Dragon Shield and CoolStuffInc.com. On either one, you can use the promo code CGB5 to get a discount, and if you use my link in the description for Dragon Shield, the channel gets extra support. So thank you very much to the sponsors of the video. Now what we're going to do is play a few games with the deck as is. In the middle of the deck, I'm going to talk about my upgrades to the deck, the cards that I would craft or add to the deck to make it even better, and then we're going to play a few games with the upgraded version and come back for some final thoughts. So let's dive in. Let the nonsense begin. Captain Howler Sea Scourge. That is pirate. Is it discard card draw? Question mark. Ooh, Mythweaver in the hand. Utopia Sprawl. We are cooking. Branching Evolution. Let's keep it. But we are on the draw. And there is a ramp creature for Bill to be on. To play ahead of Bill, I should say. Oh no, Spell Pierce for the Sprawl. Must be nice to go first. Our opponent is prepared. And they have the Silent Hall Creeper. It doesn't have a discard mechanism, but it is an unblockable creature for Captain Howler. Out comes the Caryatid as we attempt to ramp. They've had all the answers so far. Will they have it again? We're not good at removing anything, so we just have to be very aggressive. Pick your poison. Don't see any flying creatures. Don't see any artifacts. Don't see... Well, that's an enchantment. Well, well, well. Okay. What do we do? I would say maybe we want a branching evolution and a pick your poison and slow roll Bristly Bill. How dare you be an enchantment creature in this house? They've already drawn a card from it, so it's not like it's not like their card is dead. It's not like they didn't get anything. Okay. That is fine. That would have been very effective against some of our other creatures, so we accept. Here's my branching evolution. Would you like to counter it? Ah, cycling. Okay. Okay, we have pieces on the board. Railway Brawler, you plot it. Whenever another creature enters, put X counters on it where X is its power. Fervent Champion. Holding up 3 mana. Geez, I wonder what could be going on there. They went this way. Search your library for basic land, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and investigate. Interesting. Do we want to get this countered? Not really. How about we just plot them? If they're not going to do anything, let's just plot and wait. They're running out of Tidebinder. Wow, they ran out of Tidebinder. Yeah, that would have been nasty. If they're running that out, they must have more solutions, right? Okay. They didn't use Howler. They tapped most of their mana, so we get to kind of go off. Here's the thing, they have 1 mana open. That's usually Wash Away. In this format, that can often be Wash Away. Let's see if... Nope, no stick, so it's not Wash Away. Wash Away would have held priority there. So which is it? I mean, this is a really good card. Mythweaver Pock is an insanely good card. Oh my goodness. Woo. All right, we still haven't played Bill, but we are set up. There are some creatures on the board. Brass's Tunnel Grinder. So that's going to create some Howler triggers, and we're going to see this card in action, which makes a 7/1 first striker. Still not big enough. What did this do? You can bestow this. Give it flying. Yep. 9/3 first strike. Coming at me. I could take it and let them draw, or I could just block it and let them not draw. This is such a big hit, I think it's worth it. 9 life is a lot. Bill. Resolves. Counters. Where do they go? We have Branching Evolution. You know they're going to block Mythweaver. What I want is to double counters. So let's start putting counters on Bill himself. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Onto the battlefield tapped. Okay, then in that case we'll go over here because we can't double counters this turn anyway, and they don't have trample. So it's all just about being hella aggro. See, nice and big. Yes. So they probably block here. As for their 5/4, send a message. We're green. We don't remove things. We have to stay aggressive and threaten them with doom. Pure doom. They flash in Malcolm. Let's draw a card. Not very exciting. But we do have a lot of land, and we have a Bristly Bill that can double the counters on our creatures. Try to start making them block. Okay, that's a forge. I mean, they have to think about some defense, right? Wrong. Of course they don't have to think about defense. What are we talking about here? We go to 11. They didn't get any discard triggers first. So that is not going as planned for them. That's a looter. They've got a little rat blocker friend. Trigger, trigger. Put the counters here. Make a land. Put the counters here. Good game. I think so. We can double the counters, double them again, and attack for billions of damage. And wow, we pick up the W. Our opponent is Omnath, Locus of the Royal, which is annoying because it kills this Elvish Mystic. But we can get a counter on it, and I think we'll be fine. On the play, Elvish Mystic, Bristly Bill, put a counter on the Mystic. Move on up. Could also play the Tumblewag. Right on turn 2. That gets a counter on the Mystic. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Complicated. Complicated. This gains life. Hi. Sorry, I have to think for a minute. This is already a lot. Yeah, lands. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. You're funny. There you go. Dude, this is very terrifying. If this attacks while saddled, it doubles the number of counters on target creature. Our opponent ramps. Ramping is good. Highly recommended ramping. This ramping thing. Tireless Provisioner. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So I think we want to play Arcane Signet. Then we want to play Bristly Bill. Then we want to saddle the Tumblewag. Then we want to play Evolving Wilds. We want to put counters on the Tumblewag. Then we want to double the number of counters on the Tumblewag. Everybody got that? And we're going to the moon. It's an 8/8. Oh, that's an ornery Brushwag mount right there. Casual 8/8. Hi. You're gonna have to do something about that. That can't be fine. What if I double the counters and double them again? Then what? Oh no. Unreal that Bristly Bill is just unplayable in standard because of all the cheap removal in the format and how fast it is. Card is absolutely cracked. Like the best 2-mana 2/2 maybe ever. Name a better one in comments. I bet you can't do it. Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, we just want to double, don't we? Doubling is busted on each, right? Okay. Double. Hi. Yeah, you're gonna need to block that. It's so big. So we were already threatening lethal. Maybe we could have gotten another counter on this Mystic. Trust me, I feel fine about our choices. They're chumping with their commander on turn 3. Their turn 3. And I have a 26-26 Brushwag. Oh my goodness. I can hear them now. Watsy shill. Time warp. Yep, gotta dig for answers. Dude, this is the precon. This is the Brawl precon. It's so much better than the last batch. It's insane. Oh, I feel bad about nothing. Nadu. Nadu. Sure. All right. So what are they going to do? They're going to double block these again. Do I just keep doubling though? Doubling is so much fun. But nah. Now they're already a lethal threat, right? So now we need more lethal threats. And then that can draw. Druid class can get extra lands. Not really what's important here. Let's just draw. We might draw a land. Okay. So that can get us a land or proliferate, but we don't want to spend our mana that way. All right, we'll just saddle. There. A 15-15 elf and a 26-26 Tumblelag. Nadu chumps. Nadu chumping is one of the greatest feelings I've had in a minute. They're digging. What do they need? Like River's Rebuke. They're digging. They ain't getting. They're cooked. Eat your vegetables. Shulane, Teller of Tales, is a good Brawl commander from the original Brawl decks back in original Eldraine. Let's keep it. We've got an Ankle Biter, which has Death Touch. A 1/1 Death Touch in the deck. Kind of an interesting choice. But let's start with some ramp. Then we can go Bill, land, counter, Ankle Biter. The fland is... The fland? The fland is strutted, I almost said. The flooded is strand. Okay. This is potentially double counters. I think we just want the biter on the field, though. And away we go. It's interesting. I mean, I guess just a 1/1 Death Touch isn't the worst card in the world, but man. I guess you want to give it trample somehow. Whoa, Metamorph. Hey! That's my commander. This is 2 counters potentially. You can drop the case, drop another land. I see. Put a counter here. Case. And we get 2 more counters, but we could also play this and save the double counters for the doubling season for next turn. We're short 1 damage now, but we'll have more damage later. They're gonna need some interaction. They have Inga and Essica, which just lets them convoke out and play more creatures. I will double this season. That seems fun. Woo! It's a big snake. There is a double block opportunity, and I think they'd do it. I don't have much to do with my mana next turn other than double the counters, but doubling the counters is really good. I'll just send the 5/5 Death Toucher. It's possible I'm supposed to make them block there. I'm not sure how far they can pop off with Inga and Essica. The convoke on creatures could be terrifying. Yeah, here comes the commander. Yeah, Shulane is like Creature Storm. You try to cast a ton of creatures, cheating out a ton of lands, drawing a ton of cards. But that's all they have for now. Here, They're at 7. They have to double block. They might have swords to plowshares, but I'm ready. So yeah, take 13. Nasty. Some people just will never block with their commander, no matter the cost. All right, for this video, we are taking 15 cards out and replacing them with 15 other cards that I think will help the strategy more. Now, I'm very hesitant to do this when this deck is actually winning the way that it's working right now. I'm kind of surprised by how easy the games have been for Bristly Bill thus far, but you can always try to improve decks. That's one of my favorite things in the world, is trying to improve and tune decks. So let's talk about the cards that we're adding to the deck. If you craft these are rares, of course. If you craft these Misty Rainforest, Prismatic Vista, actually a mythic, and Verdant Catacombs, Windswept Heath, and Wooded Foothills, these fetch lands are upgrades to the tap lands like Evolving Wilds that the deck currently runs. And on top of that, you can use them to really solidify mana bases in other color combinations. These are some of the most played lands in Brawl. I would say the fetch lands are the most played lands in Brawl, and I highly recommend crafting them if you're going to make multiple different Brawl decks and play them in other spots in the format. The fetch lands are amazing. Highly recommend crafting the fetch lands, and Prismatic Vista works really well in multicolored decks, and in this monocolored deck you just want that landfall trigger. It's well worth the 1 life that you pay. Birds of Paradise, Delighted Halfling. These are really good mana dorks that can be used in almost every single green deck that the format has. Delighted Halfling is amazing against blue decks because of the uncounterability for your commander, and Birds of Paradise is just a simple 1 mana, make 1 mana of any color. In this deck you can put counters on it and attack with the bird, so it's even better. So those two are great picks for the deck. Aftermath Analyst. This is an uncommon that when it enters mills 3 cards, and then you can sack it to get all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. So if your fetch lands are in the graveyard along with some cards you milled, this can be a good explosion of mana on turn 4. It's a very powerful effect when combined with several other landfall effects in the format. And then we have Scavenging Ooze. This deck could use some way to interact with graveyard decks that are very popular right now, and Ooze also gains +1/+1 counters. This is a really good rare craft out of Foundations. It can go in almost every green deck in the format if you really need it to. It's that solid of a player. Springheart Nantuko. This is a somewhat busted card that snuck into Modern Horizons 3, and this has Bestow, and it gives the enchanted creature +1/+1. And when a land enters, you may pay 1 in a green if this is bestowed, and create a token that's a copy of the creature it's bestowed upon. So this isn't about putting it on your commander, because you just legend rule yourself. You want to attach Springheart Nantuko specifically to cards like Lotus Cobra or Tireless Provisioner, and there are ways that you can make somewhat infinite mana with moves of that nature. Kind of amazing things that you can do in the right circumstances with this card. It's an excellent landfall card, one of the best to exist. And even if you don't pay the 1 in a green to make a copy, you get insects. So think of it as another Scoot Swarm. Fight Rigging. It gives +1/+1 counters, and if you have a creature of power 7 or greater, you get to play the hideaway card that it creates for free. This is just good for more +1/+1 counter synergy, and if they deal with your commander, Fight Rigging can keep the +1/+1 counters flowing on a board state where otherwise you might not have access to +1/+1 counters if they like Witness, Protect, Bristly Bill, something like that. Nissa's Pilgrimage is a land ramp spell that I really like in green 2-color decks. It's basically a cultivate. It gets you 2 forests, but it has spell mastery. If there are 2 or more instants or sorceries in your graveyard, instead you get 3 forests. So it has some upside too. It's like more cultivate, and in mono green there isn't really a downside from just getting forests. Courser of Crufix is a card that I really like. I like it better than Druid class, even with the alchemy upgrades. It lets you play lands from the top of your library and gain life whenever a land enters. Highly recommend. Archdruid's Charm is a tutor / fight spell / removal spell. It does it all. And in a mono green deck, I think this is a perfect craft because the +1/+1 counter is relevant in this deck, but so is getting a land at instant speed. And it can be any land, by the way. So you can go get a fetch land and double down on your +1/+1 counter effects at the next turn after you untap it. And then Oracle of Moldiah is just a wonderful card in land grab strategies. Land decks are super supported in the format in general, so this is one of the many cards you can add, but I think this one stands above and beyond with the ability to play lands off the top and play additional lands. Oracle Moldiah can often pop off and give you a ton more lands than you should have and get you there in a way that like Case of the Hot House hasn't really done because it lets you play from the top. Moving down to the cuts, these are the cards I did not find as good. I cut Broker's Hideout, Cabaret Courtyard, Evolving Wilds, Riveteer's Outlook, and Terramorphic Expanse. These all get tapped forests, whereas the fetch lands get untapped forests. You could keep these. You could cut basic forests instead. There is a case for that. I'm not sure if that's like better or worse. I don't like tapped lands in my curve out decks, especially in Brawl, but I can see a case for keeping some of these because of how well they go with the commander. Maybe you want tons more of that effect. I cut the Ankle Biter. Good little snake, did win me a game, but didn't seem necessary, and it was replaced by Birds of Paradise, which I think is better. And Druid Class is cut for the Courser Crufix. Quarian Beastcaller, didn't really see the appeal on this one. I went with some other effects instead. Arcane Signet, I don't feel like you need Arcane Signet in a green deck with green land ramp. I think it gets overplayed in those decks just because it's Arcane Signet. Colossal Majesty is, I would say, slow and less reliable card draw. Fight Rigging took its place. Return from the Wilds is a ramp spell replaced by Nissa's Pilgrimage. They went this way, replaced by Oracle of Moldiah or Archdruid's Charm, take your pick. Surik and Goreclaw, Rampaging Brontodon, and Galta Stampede Tyrant all hit a similar role. All of these cards are just big, awesome monsters, but they're not particularly needed in this deck because we upgrade all of our creatures into big monsters. Galta in particular is strange because when you play it, you might be able to play out other cards from your hand, but it's not like we have a ton of ways to get a ton of creatures in our hand, and they're all a lot smaller than Galta, so we've probably already cast them. So I think that these are worthy cuts in exchange for some of these better, more land-focused cards. Now, that said, we were winning. Let's see if we're still winning when we play the rest of these games. Now we see if I make decks better or worse when I touch them. Teysa Karlov, Death Triggers, doubled Death Triggers. Oh my goodness. Well, we can make a lot of bugs. We're not gonna miss a land drop. YOLO. What the heck? I mean, we have turn 1 ramp, turn 2 Bill and a counter, turn 3 Nantukio make bugs, add counters, like, and anything we draw is playable. What could go wrong? Even if they kill Bill once or twice, we'll probably have the mana to play Bill again. There we go. To the races. Ossification. Bill is removed. Back to the command zone. Oh, what do you know? We play it again. Would you like to kill my commander again? Nope, but it's a black market connection. And that means the harder we hit them, the more strain we put on their life total, the more likely they're going to struggle. So do we play the Nantuko and create an army? Or do we play Invasion of Zendikar and flip it? Ooh. It's a 4/4. Interesting. Let's go. Flippies. Skyclave. It's a land. That's cool. Eh? Bestow. Ooh. Oh, this could get spicy. This could get really spicy. If they don't kill it, and we start making more awakened Skyclaves. It has haste. Oh. Oh no. Come on, don't kill it. Come on, opponent. Surely you have some synergy for Teysa in there. Some creatures with like death triggers and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, play your commander. All right, lifelink vigilance. I mean, that's a 7 out of 7. Wow. Land. Counters here. Auto pay. That's a land. Counters here. Auto pay. That's a land. Counters here. Auto pay. That's a land. Counter. You see what's cooking? Oh my God. Do we keep going? Or do we just attack? There are 19. Decline. Charge. Hi. How you doing? Dude, that's 25. Dude, you have to block with your commander. You gotta do it. Oh, you're still dead. That don't matter. We could even double counters. Oh my God. They're at 2. They're at 2. I should have doubled counters. I got too excited. I thought they were dead. I missed that they had blocked again. I even had more counters to dish out. What the heck am I doing? Dude, we've gone too far. We've gone way too far. We actually missed lethal there. I was too excited. The one ring. Oh, okay. They still die to their black market connection. I mean, if they want to play Magic, I will play Magic. I am down for that. Again. It's too much fun. Like, triggers are great, right? Who doesn't like triggers? So each one of these taps for a mana too, which it's not infinite, but my God, is it a lot. I'm having fun, are you? They found the line. 2 life. Out of there. Oh, that was cool. Yeah, it's almost not infinite, but like there are ways that you can go like semi-infinite and do insane things with Springheart and Antuco. I think it just justified its position in the deck. Nahiri, Heir to the Ancients, some kind of a planeswalker equipment shenanigans. Not a good hand. Better? I mean, we can get a lot of +1/+1 counters on things. I guess that's the long and short of it. All right, we'll go with it. We'll go with it. I don't know how that's a good solution to what they're doing. They're just going to try to put a lot of swords on things, right? Ardent Scales. Now we get double counters. Double counters are good. Arena of Glory. And they passed. Did you see that? You saw that, right? They either have Fury or Solitude. Maybe they have something else. You can never be sure. And okay, it's not Solitude. They might have Fury. Fury would kill Bill here. Don't leave Bill alone. Okay, they will not. Branching Evolution. And now we have Conduit of Worlds, Misty Rainforest, which can create a lot of mana for us. They're going to play Arm Scavenger Shadow Spear. This reduces equip cost by 1. It's a random equipment all the time. Interesting card. So play Bill. Play Bill without doing any counters and see if they remove Bill again. But if they do, we can leave it in the graveyard and play Conduit. Ta-da! I played my commander again. I'm a proper commander player. So they get Boots of Speed. And here comes Commander. They're going to kill it because they can deal damage equal to twice the equipment. We're going to decline because now we're going to get it out of the graveyard with the Conduit. Ooh, pretty good. We do need this to stay, and we are behind. We are very much behind. Rogue gloves. Equipped creature deals combat damage to a player you may draw. Seems good. Yeah, that is an arm scavenger. They still haven't used Nahiri, which Nahiri is make a core and attach something. Minus, look at top 6. Okay, so they're going to make a creature. Would it like an equipment? No. They like the arm scavenger. I love this card. This card is so good. You can play it almost any red brawl deck if you're willing to play some alchemy cards. Okay. One mana open. So I can play Bill if I only play one thing this turn. But if I play Bill, I can make it big, but then the Nahiri can kill it. But the Nahiri, no, it's a -3. The other thing I could do is slam the triplets. Triplets are really good. I can draw a ton of cards off them with the Uprising, but we're already behind. We have other plays too, like a Souza. If we play a Souza, then we can also play the Uprising, but that's not exactly a great turn. And we're already, as I said, behind. Let's go triplets. We can do a Souza Uprising next turn. This is so crazy though. If these die, look at the branching evolution and the hardened scales. Oh my goodness. So whenever a Gruff triplet dies, put a number of counters on it equal to the power on another triplet. So they have to somehow exile all of them. They get a hammer? Oh god. Colossal hammer is +10/+10. Oh god. Okay, what's this do? Destroy target artifact or enchantment. Okay. I mean, if they blow up the conduit, I can't get back my commander, but that's fine. Like, I don't need Bill to win this game if I have these cards. Yeah, they go for it. It does make things a lot worse. Yeah, that's an 11/11. What you gonna do about it? So I have to have something power 4 or greater. I have to have something modified. Modified creatures have trample. Ugh. This whole thing is working out pretty bad. You want to block? Careful. I don't think you want these to die. Okay. Cool. 1919 is for me. Let's see. If they have like a way to exile it or kill it, I guess they're fine, but man. The Ozolith. Put out the Kadama. I has big creature. I finally got rid of that pesky arm scavenger. Yeah, okay, they had a plan. They had a plan. Must be nice. They're playing equipment control somehow. Not the deck you see every day. Don't think we're a deck that can come back from this. How much removal did they play? I mean, it shows you the nature of the format, right? This is a removal heavy format. And you have to be a removal deck. It doesn't matter what deck you actually are. You have to be a removal deck to play this format. That's too bad. So Vorinclex just has to chump block here. I can leave. But yeah. You're green. You're not a removal deck. So you have to be the hammer. Our opponent had both. The overpowering, the card advantage. Like if you play an equipment deck, get this Arm Scavenger card. It's broken. And the removal. Saint Elenda. This is a super expensive but super powerful alchemy commander. A 4/7 lifelink when it enters. When it enters, conjure some card that gains you life, usually 4 life. You may cast this card without paying its mana cost at the beginning of your end step. If you gain life this turn, create an XX white avatar creature token where X is the amount of life you gained. Ooh, it's a big, powerful card. We're on the draw. We have a lot of mana, and we have the busted card, Springheart and Nantuko, that we keep. Hi, Delayed Halfling is here. The crag, the Iron Crag. Let's land up. Lands. That's the plans. Making copies of Oracle of Moldiah is really good. And they're all red. Dude, they're going to cast Saint Elenda next turn. They have the rune carved obelisk. So if they're going to cast Saint Elenda next turn, let's get out our commander. Or we can also do this. Yeah, we can do this. Land, Bill. If they wrath the board, we have a lot of mana at least. Okay, that's not a wrath. 4 or 5 flying lifelink at the beginning of each end step. Oh, yep, okay. They make a 4/4 angel. So that works with the commander well. Nissa's on top of our deck, by the way. Bestow here. Well, actually, playing more additional lands is epic. But right now there's a Nissa on top. I guess we can shuffle it away. Yeah, bestow on the Oracle. They're holding priority. Do they have Solitude? That would be such a good draw. That'd be an absolutely stupid draw. Oh no, come on. When they have it, when they just have it, man. Feels so bad. All right. Whatever. Now we have to find a way to be as aggressive as possible. Nissa's awesome for double. Let's do that. This is a 4/5 this turn, right? So like we're not gonna get through. So we'll just counter up and pass. They'll probably have a huge turn. Then we have to also have a huge turn. It's kind of rough when you can only play 1 land a turn. Spellbook. The card I remember the most in it is Faith's Fetters. Nope. Ritual of Rejuvenation. 4 life, draw a card. And that's 4 more life. So 8 life. So they make a 4/4 angel and an 8/8. Nice. It's pretty good. It's who shaketh the world. All right, we need counters on a bunch of things. We need a lot of life. Okay. Roiling Earth is pretty good if we can live long enough to get there. We can double some counters. Jesus, we're just gonna die, aren't we? This is gonna die, right? This makes 3 mana now. So it can be a 6/6. That's not even big enough to matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we can double. I guess that's pretty good. Double is 2, then 4. So it goes to 5, then 7. That's not big enough. This goes to 4, then 7. Yeah, it's not enough. This 8/8 is a big problem. So I guess it's just you. What you got? Hopefully I mathed right. Double block. Okay. Our opponent is making me angry, but we kill them both. It's kind of a stabilizing play in a way. We're back to some form of a parity. And now they can't easily kill Nissa. Yep. That's a lot of life they're going to gain, though. So Roiling Earth, whenever a land enters +1/+1, it's kind of a Bristly Bill as an enchantment, but the channel is to discard this and make a land an XX spirit creature with a bunch of +1/+1 counters, but we can double that. Oh, okay. They played Resplendent Angel, but they only gained 4. Wait, so they scoop? We were having a game. That was a heck of a game we had going. Okay, they played this card that says if they gain 5 life, they make a 4/4 Angel, but they only gained 4. And I guess they were just too distraught. Yasharn Impeccable Earth. It's a bit of a problem. Ooh, Lotus Cobra for the first time. Yes. Yes, Lotus Cobra. Landfall triggers forever. To the battlefield. They're green and white. They don't have that much removal, right? Right? Scrappy. Bill. Counter. Green. Play that Roiling Earth. Get ready for absolute pop-offs in the future. I mean, they can play their big pig now. Yasharn enters the battlefield and fetches a plains and a forest. And then you can't pay life or sacrifice non-land permanents to cast spells or activate abilities. Undergrowth Champion. What? If a land would enter, it does +1/+1 on this creature. This card is okay. If damage would be dealt to it while as a counter, you can remove the counter. So it does kind of act as a very good blocker, is what it is. This lets us play an additional land. Oh yeah, we're going to show you the pop-off. And cultivate. How did they do that? The alchemy. Nope. It's not alchemy. Please don't click off the video. So they can remove the counter, prevent the damage. It's a 2/2, and now every time they hit a land drop, it gets a counter again, and so on. Wow. Welcome to Brawl, guys. If you don't like your stuff dying, too bad. It will. It will die a lot. This has been our experience at every turn. The triplets. Pretty good. That's a draw. So I have 7 lands, which solves this case, which I think means I just save this until I play Bill next turn. More land drops with Bill means more +1/+1 counters. Never mind. Elish Norn says a permanent entering the battlefield causing an ability to trigger doesn't work, so that shuts down our whole deck. That's great. I like that. That's fun. Here's a Vorinclex though. I'm upset. We have to use this before Yasharn comes out. Good. I'm very upset. So they can block the Vorinclex and kill it. Kind of want them to kill these though. We want to get a lot of counters on something so we can double them with Bill. That's how we're going to pull this off. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's a lot of counters. Yasharn is here. They're going to get so many forests and plains, you guys. Case being solved, meaning we can cast spells. It's cast creature and enchantment spells from the top and play lands. Kind of lets us go burr through our deck, even through an Elish Norn. It's been pretty helpful. Okay, they have a Mossborn Hydra. Ooh, this should be in our deck, right? That's a new Foundations card. The Vorinclex killed it. I love this. All right, Bill comes out to give counters. This can add a land. Actually, it doesn't. Don't worry about that. Get him. Show Elish Norn who's boss. You can turn off my landfall, but you will never take my freedom. Holy cow. Wait, why is it 0? Use arrows to assign damage. Okay. Okay. Wow. Sick. And we are back for post-game wraps on the upgraded Bristly Bill Spine Sower. And the first thing I can say is I actually lost more games with my upgraded version, but I also, there's variance, right? What did we play? Like 10 games. Of course, some games are going to be harder than others. And it's Mono Green. Mono Green has hard time coming back. And if the opponent has a good mix of removal and aggression, like it can put Mono Green on the back foot in a position they can't get out of. This is the problem in general with Mono Green. So I would say mulligan for hands that get ahead quickly. That's why we love our 1-mana ramp cards, because they get us up on mana, whether on the play or on the draw, very fast and get us into a better position. Some absolute all-stars in the deck that you want to mulligan your hands for include Springheart Nantuko. We saw that absolutely pop off. Roaring Earth, which is like Bristly Bill on an enchantment, so it gives you redundancy from your commander. Lotus Cobra, Nissa Resurgent Animist, who we never drew today, and Tireless Provisioner, which I believe I only drew once but wasn't able to use. But these are ways to pop off huge on mana and get way ahead. We saw a Case of the Hothouse absolutely go to the moon and generate a ton of value, as well as Oracle of Moldiah. These are the cards that really get the deck cooking. And of course, Nissa, who shakes the world, Guff Triplets, Vorinclex Monstrous Raider all showed us why they definitely belong in the deck. I think this is the first one of this group of the, we'll call them precons in the store, the champion decks that I have worked on. This is the first of this type of video I've made. I have a prediction. I think Bristly Bill will be the best. I think it will be the best commander from this group, the best deck from this group. I think it will be the best for somebody to just pick up and win a few games and get into the Brawl format, because Bristly Bill is a straightforward way to play, put counters on things, put lots of counters on things, play lands, watch them die. And I highly believe that this is probably the best one for the money if you're going to go out and buy a Brawl deck. But remember, don't just straight buy it from the store. Make sure you check the deck list for what you actually need. And I would only actually pay the gems for it if the wild cards required were more than the wild cards you had after uploading the deck list, and the links to that are in the description to help you out. Did you like this video? Did you like this approach to looking at the product Wizards is putting in the store, analyzing it, improving it, and giving you some thoughts about it? Did it kind of tickle your fancy for gameplay and Brawl content? Remember to leave a like and a comment. Let me know what you would like to see me play next. I'm always looking for ideas for the channel, especially on things like Brawl, and I appreciate all of your feedback as always. You stayed till the end. That's the best thing you can do to support the video. Top it off with the like and the subscribe, and as always, you're cool.